Welcome back. Thanks for joining me. I usually have a little bit of background music, a little bit of hot beverage, a lot to say. And tonight will probably be no different. Join me as we pretend that Critical Role Episode 1 of Season 4, Campaign 4, I want to call it Season. A lot of Critical Role fans out there. You're really into this. A little bit of a departure now because you have a new person running the game. Let's see how he's doing. Let's check in now with Critical Role and watch a few minutes of their game. See if we can learn some things there. Maybe give a few pointers to those fine people out there that are happy enough to join in and have some fun as we take a look at what is supposedly the pinnacle of the role-playing game hobby. The very summit of achievement. Now, you may think I'm bloviating, and you're probably right. But I do have experience with this Critical Role being held up as the gold standard of what all role-playing games should aspire to be. I was once asked by a friend who owns a game store to come in and stand in for a dungeon master, we say, for a group that was really excited to play, but their dungeon master had to be away. And so they said, Crispy, would you come in, please, and keep running this game for these people? They're nice people, and they're paying customers. And I said, you know what, for paying customers, I mean, they weren't paying me anything, but I do this for my friend. And it's the local gaming store. I mean, how could I say no? First thing they ask me as I sit down, hey, have you ever seen Critical Role? I said, well, I'm not a huge fan. Like, I don't watch it religiously, if that's what you're asking me. But I am familiar with it. Yeah, we'd like you to be just like that. That's what they said. I nodded politely. And then went about doing what I normally would do. They had a great time. Did I try to copy Mr. Mercer or any of the other dungeon masters that have graced the screen of Critical Role? No, I did not. Perhaps I'll be able to share with you some of the reasons that I did not try to copy exactly what they're doing over at Critical Role. Let's watch it together. Here we are. I've queued up a place where I think it gets interesting. You should know that you're going to have to watch well over 3 hours of this session before you'll see Mr. Matt Mercer take his seat. They're doing this thing that I do not... I got to understand why they're doing it, but I think it's a little misleading. The misleading thing about this, my fine viewers, intelligent, handsome. Do you see these empty chairs? Can you see these? Okay, so what's happening? There's actually an empty chair next to a gentleman here. So Brennan, here's our dungeon master. When he wants certain characters to be in the scene, he'll call them from a green room or somewhere off camera, and they'll come and take their seat at the big table, and they'll get their time in the spotlight. And then when they're done, he'll excuse them, and they leave the table. Can you imagine? They leave the table and go back to the green room or wherever they're relaxing when they're not on camera. And that way, he has a massive group. Like, it's quite a large group. And not everyone's getting much time in this game. In fact, as we watch this, you'll see some get exceptionally little time. But it's hard to keep track of that because, of course, he's inviting them to take their place in the green room and then come back to the table and then thank you very much. Now go back to the green room. The effect of which is to give you, the viewer, the impression that everyone is just like right there. But you have to think about this. If you're in the green room for 3 hours and you're just watching this go on, can you really claim that you're part of the game? Is the game really about you? not really ideal. I would suggest to you, dear viewer, that if you were to do this in your group, you would run into some issues. You would have some of your friends, other players at the table, start asking questions like, why is it that I'm in the little kids table, and then every so often you call me into the big kids table, but other people just stay at the big kids table, basically never leave? Am I kind of second rate? What's going on here? Are we not all here for the same thing? Anyway, it's a little strange to me. Let's watch.
Hand kind of...
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't usually give you enough context. I'm assuming that since, 2 million people watched this, since it went live on October 6th, on the replay, of course. It was live before then, but the replay is what I'm watching. 2 million of you already watched this. I assume everyone has watched up to 3 hours and 51 minutes, but if you have not, the premise of this session is that a former hero of the realm has become a rebel, a treason. He's guilty of treason. He hangs for his crime. And the rest of the session is just the group gathering, this very large party, for the occasion of the wake/funeral held at a house. And there's some scenes that are outside the house, but by and large, that's what it is. It's characters reacquainting themselves with each other around this momentous event, the death of a former compatriot, a hero who has turned into a criminal and has been executed by the state.
Rested on the hilt of my rapier on the side. I kind of stand there for a minute over and kind of just glance left and right to see if anyone is paying any close attention to this corner.
Hala's still there. So you have a whole ass deer staring you.
There's a companion of the wild here, but of mortal kind, you are alone.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to... Where is the deer currently situated by the corpse?
Deer's at the head and was giving funeral rites.
Right.
If someone tries to have a deer give funeral rites at a funeral, I'd have questions. Does the deer speak?
Does it look like you're hesitating?
It looks like I'm just kind of looking down and quietly taking in the surroundings.
Then I think Hala will blink, stare at you, so you know that this is like connected to Taisha, and then turn and go find Hero, and is just going to go hang out with Hero and leave you to this moment.
Looks down upon the...
Basically, the entire session is this pacing, by the way. This is it. It's pretty long. Like, we're almost 4 hours in.
The well-adorned and well-remembered and well-beloved body of Thiazi, here in this warm hearth, surrounded by the chattering voices of his family and his friends and all those whose lives he's touched. I can hear the gentle, occasional sobs and stutters of my dear friend, Lady Arnessa, and just quietly look down upon him. The only shame is I couldn't watch you die twice. And then I walk away.
Bolaire, could you do me a favor and get our friend Marie a drink?
I actually thought that was pretty cool. They did that because everything up to this point, everyone's really, really upset that this guy had been executed. And then Matt comes in with his character, and he's like, wish I could have watched you die twice. And I thought that was it was just kind of interesting to me that he took a different approach. All right, let's watch what happens next.
I'll be right back. I'm just going to go deal with this. I'm going to slip away real quick. I've got this blade belonging to my brother, and I'll return to my study upstairs pretty quickly, and I will just stop in front of my desk and look at it, and look at the deed on the desk.
Okay, these turns, they're all like this. They are long turns, very introspective turns, very slow.
And lay.
I just am always interested to see what everyone else at the table is doing. This is why I'm not thrilled that we never get to see everyone at the table. Like, I want to see what that Travis guy is doing. I want to see what, who's the other guy? Sam. I usually have good things to say about Sam and his turns. Where is he? Oh, right. He's in the green room now. So he's not in this scene.
The blade across the deed to the area of land in the city that I worked for years to secure and only came in reach of within the last few weeks. And I rest this sword, what remains of my brother, come crashing through those years of work. Everything I ever wanted, slashed with heartbreak. And I give myself 10 seconds to stare at it and then return downstairs.
While he's doing all that, what's everyone else doing? Now we have to go back in time. We have to rewind a bit so we can find out what the... Is his name Taliesin? I don't know. I think his name is apologies, sir, if I got your name wrong.
Hello, Murray.
Taliesin, I was right. Okay, so everyone's just on pause while all these things happen.
Lovely to see you.
I don't think I've seen you since that last party where that demon girl threw up in a vase.
It has been a while. That was a romp, wasn't it?
It was such a good time. When you gonna throw another one of those?
Oh, as soon as we can deal with some insurance issues, I've been assured that I can handle it again. I wish that was the only thing she did. She was quite a bit. I didn't know you knew Thiazi.
I think everybody knew Thiazi. I mean, look at this room. There's some mixed company up in here.
Honestly, I didn't.
Look, what is with all these rich people?
Well,
Damn.
Those I know.
You see, as you say, what's up with all these rich people? I think, Taisha, you're nearby with Aranessa.
So Brennan just gets to decide. This is also something that I would caution against. Brennan just decides where people are, where he needs them to be. Okay, so you, oh man, I don't want to mispronounce your name. Abrea, I think. Your character is just here because you're here and you're with this other NPC, okay? And she just you because I need you to be there. You're just going to be there, and then the NPC is going to say this to you, and away we go. He has a tendency, Brennan. You have a tendency to just teleport the players where you need them, and in this game, it's very apparent because if you need a player, you'll call them from the green room. They'll be listening off camera, so they can come and take their place at the big table. And then when you don't need them, you can just send them off to the green room. Your game, you people that are watching this, and I thank you for spending some time with me. You can't do this, okay? Because that's not how most games work. You don't get the chance. And game masters out there, listen to me, game masters. Dungeon masters, game masters, all shapes, all sizes. Get away from the habit of teleporting your players where you want them to be for the story. Okay? Stop, please. Experiment with me in not doing that. Tell your players, you have this character. The character exists in the world. We're going to all pretend that the world is a real place. Now, it's not a real place. We know that. But We're going to pretend that it is. Since it's a real place, it has a physical aspect to it. My compact with you, player, as the game master, is that I will not decide where your player character is. That's your character, hence player character. You decide where that character is in the world. You move that character. Now, there may be instances where I can use a force in the world. Maybe that's another character or creature or a magical force or an explosion or something, a landslide, an avalanche, an earthquake, a wagon accident, where I will move your character. But me just moving you to a room because I want you in that room, I commit that I will not do that. You will decide where that character moves. Makes a world of difference.
Turns to look over at you and says, "Hi, I'm a rich person."
Oh, so am I.
Hi. Oh, wow.
You see Ernestina cocks an eyebrow and it goes like, you the
Compared. Okay.
Are we? Is this some rich
I
people
pour
speak?
you. Drink this.
you see
Great equalizer.
Are y'all having like a dick waving contest over your bank account?
crude.
I'm
But
I'm
not
so
inaccurate.
sorry.
No, it's all right.
I have seen you around, and I'm very sorry for your loss. Thiazi was a good friend of mine.
You see that she smiles and says, "That's wonderful. I've never been."
I have a hard time with this, and this is something that I've mentioned in past. When we've done this in the past, and I've said, be careful about second person dungeon mastering. And what I mean by that is, yes, it is true, dungeon masters, you have to give descriptions to players as if you're providing the visual stimulus for the player. What I mean by second person GMing is when you get into the habit of saying, you look here, you see here, you hear here. Now, okay, I have an aversion to using the second person because I find that, related to my last point that I just made, if you get into the habit, if you allow yourself to be put into this second person frame, and then you stay in that second person frame all the time, you will likely fall into this habit of moving the characters, of deciding things for the characters that really are not up to you to decide. They're up to the players to decide. I hear, Brennan, you say a lot, you see. Can we not just say that is implied and simply describe what is seen without saying you see? If you have to let it make the distinction that this character sees but another character does not, state the character's name and then describe what is seen. All without falling into that trap of saying you see, you hear. And now you'll say, well, Crispy, come on. That seems way too strict. But I've found in my own games, the more I can avoid getting into this you, the better the experience for the players. Now, they still get descriptions. They still get a description from me of a sound, of a smell, of a taste, of a vista that they're looking over. They just don't get as much you. Try it as an experiment. In your next game, just count how many times you say you. You look here, you think this, you listen here. The problem that you may find is that it's not simply the passive description, the passive information that you're passing along to that player, but instead you are stepping into the player character. And you are now controlling that player character. And going back to my previous point, that is not for you to do. You've got enough on your hands. You have all this cast of interesting NPCs. You have a world and its consequences and events and things that are happening and weather systems and who knows what else. There's a lot on your plate. You don't have to be controlling the player characters. Have them help you out. They can take care of their own.
Been in a home like one of these in Dolmakyar where he was from. This is where he grew up, right? This was your family's home?
I grew up here. In this neighborhood. Not in this house.
Gotcha.
Diazi lived with his father and mother, our father and his mother, on the edge of this neighborhood.
Well, it's beautiful, and I'd love to see. As you take a shot of that, she goes, "What is this delightful thing called?"
Oh, yeah.
It's best for sipping.
No, she
I disagree.
He puts his hand out from open and goes, Ernessa, are you sure?
Oh, there you are. You want to go talk?
As you go,
He takes it from
Okay. What's going to happen here shortly is something that I think is very interesting. Let's see how quickly they can get to it here.
her. I am now.
you take the shot and head out.
I just immediately pour Aranessa another shot, because that was weird.
Matt, I would love for you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
A wisdom saving throw is a little interesting here from Brendan, simply because most of the time for this session, the roles are confined to investigate, arcana, knowledge, insight. I may be missing a couple. Perception, probably.
Ooh, that is a solid 6.
We're back, baby.
Okay. 6. We're going to assume failure. Let's see what happens.
I would like. I would like.
Didn't know the dice go high.
I would like.
Why, guys? Why are we talking about the dice roll? It's just a 6. Like, what, you have to talk about that now?
For Belair, Murray, Taisha, or Hal, anyone who wants to. No one has, like, I think, a detect magic up right now. No. But give me either Arcana.
Oh, Arcana. That was the other one I missed.
Arcana, or call it like Arcana or Nature or Religion, dealer's choice. Well, go ahead and give me a roll. DC 20 gets you a vibe. DC 25 gets you pure information.
Come on, religion.
All right.
All
Can I
right.
give guidance to myself?
Yeah.
Nat 20.
Go with
Nat 20? We're rolling.
What? Look, people, in a 4-hour session, I would expect that there'll be some nat 20s, right? Do we have to always lose our ever-loving mind every time the 20 comes up?
Hot tonight, baby. It's there's a lot of RP going on, but these are some.
No, okay. I'll give you this. There is a lot of talking in character. There's very little that happens. I'm a roleplay enthusiast. I'm an aggressive role player. I want everything in character, but I want things happening. It's not required to have sessions where nothing happens in order to call it role-playing.
Important rolls.
pretty good. 23 on Arcana.
23 on Arcana. Hell
I
yeah.
have a +6.
That's a 13.
Great.
That's with
Murray, I think on this Arcana check, you just notice as Taisha and Julian step outside.
Why are they stepping outside? Did they say they were stepping outside? Why are they now stepping outside? Again, this is what I'm talking about. You get into the second person GM habit, pretty soon you're just telling players where they're going to be. Okay, you two, you're going to be outside now. wait, can I not decide where I go? Maybe I don't. See, the problem I have with this, Brennan, is that Matt's character is here as an escort to this other, the former wife of the deceased. And it would be strange, I would think, that he would leave his charge unattended. And if he does choose to do that, shouldn't that be his choice? Why is it your choice?
There is a bit of...
See, this is a dungeon master that's moving the player characters around. What is the force within the world that has done this? The answer is nothing. It's just capriciousness on the part of the dungeon master to say, I want these players here to, okay, you two are going to have your scene now. Did you plan these scenes in advance? Why? Is this just a pure scripted game? I don't want to believe that, but it seems to me that, especially since, okay, you can go take your seat now and I need someone else to come to the table. How do you know that? How do you know which players need to be at the table? And it's not just, oh, the party is split, because there's other people, Sam's character, for example, who are still here, right? They're still in this building. They're still in the room even. Why aren't they at the table?
You notice the cold iron nail kind of like glow a little subtly orange for a second. You know, that's for repelling demons and fairies. Jepa, Bolaire, on a nat 20.
Religion and Arcana.
Religion.
Take your pick.
Your pick.
26.
On a nat 20.
Okay, Brendan makes a decision here. We're going to talk a little bit about it.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. We'll make it.
Okay, Brennan, what are you talking about? 2 out of 3. You already gave the DCs for this. You said if it's DC 20, you get something this. If it's DC 25, you get something else. Now you're saying, oh, well, it's DC 20. Okay, you got a 26? Okay, well, now you get to choose. You have to choose between this. We're going to make it fun.
Fun, dealer's choice. The target, the effect, and the cause. You can get 2 out of 3.
I hate you. Every fiber of my being. I'll take the target and the cause.
The target and the cause. The cause, there is an orcish...
This description, man, it just, Brennan, your descriptions are excessive to the point of self-indulgent.
Custom. So all those candles, everything around Thiazi's body, the coins and everything, he is in a state of, this is part of the old path. He's been adorned with treasures by his loved ones. He is under a protection. That protection has been, something has been done to cross it. You don't have the effect, but something like a shadow follows Sir Julian Davinos out of this home. And you can see, in a way that maybe only Bolaire can, a shadow walking out the door after Julian.
Would anything like...
Again, Julian never said he left the room, but thank you for that.
I have... Devil's Sight wouldn't help with this. I'm trying to think if I have anything... anything I can do to...
On that nat 20, I think that you get a sense that, like, without, again, you don't know the effect, but it's something small. This is like the kind of magic that people tend to ignore. A little bit of folklore, an old superstition, a saw, an old wives' tale. But you watch as something small and surreptitious is born into existence and begins to walk behind Sir Julian. And I think, with more time, there are things back at the museum that maybe would be worth consulting after what you just saw.
That's it? That's it.
Julian and Taisha step outside together.
I just can't get here's the other problem, folks. Once you start noticing when a game master or dungeon master is moving your character around, it becomes very jarring. I don't hesitate to give the recommendation because I think it's important, but boy, it is jarring to see this. Okay, you two, you step outside together. Did I want to? I don't know, maybe one of you did. Didn't matter. We're going to step you outside anyway.
Taisha,
Why are you here?
because my friend is grieving.
Why are you here? She is safe among friends.
Okay. Bit of a spoiler. In my games, characters have as much degrees of freedom as allowed in the world. And what that means is, if there's not some force within the world that would prevent them from doing so, characters can attack other characters.
Because I myself have a...
Has that ever happened in Critical Role? Like, I haven't watched much of it. Has there ever been a what's commonly called player versus player? Has there ever been a player versus player conflict that it resulted in the death of one of the player characters? I'd be curious if that's ever happened.
Storied history with Thiazi, and I felt it was important for me to close that chapter in person.
So you came here for one last glow.
Call it what you wish.
I call it a desperate man's last bit of glory.
Okay, you gonna let her talk to you like that? They all well, first of all, they're not all level 1, right? These are level 3, I think. I might be getting that wrong, but they're not level 1. I don't know. I don't know if I'd stand for it. You're going to stand there and just let this druid berate you, or whatever class it is. I don't know.
You have no idea what those words mean.
How's my son?
Your son is actually quite an exemplary student. Rising to be a fantastic soldier, picks up things quickly. An incredible intellect, good intuition, and has gotten quite a bit far, both with small and long blades. Has quite a future ahead of him. Because I have been his teacher.
It was the last bit of wisdom and patience left in me to keep him by your side. But this, you here, with a little fish hook pulling at the corner of your lip, a grin.
He leans against the wall, goes into a relaxed state. His stately, knightly appearance just kind of melts a bit. He kind of leans against the wall. Look, we have many reasons to dislike each other. Many.
You're a lying scoundrel, a rat who betrayed his father and his family for a last hope of glory.
I would draw steel. Based on the impression I get from what Matt's given this blade master type guy, I would not let it stand. I'd let it escalate. But I think the bumpers are up. And I think this is entirely safe for Abrea's character to say whatever they want. Which, of course, they can say whatever they want. I'm just arguing for consequence.
No.
Watch your finger.
Honestly, I was hoping against hope that some dice would be rolled and some blood would be shed between these two characters.
We're not inside the house, are we? So uneven ground here. If you want to start throwing these words away from me, you have to be willing to take it back. All right. My family was thrown into the mud by my father, and I pulled us back up. And he kind of gestures back towards Thiazi. Your kin turned on all of those who helped lift him up. And he needed to be taught a lesson. And it just so happened that I was the one who had the courage to do so. And I know that can be hard for you to muster into your stomach after all these years. But what's done is done. And now we live. And now we mourn. So you can throw your words all you like, it does not change history. I don't hate you. As much as you may hate me. I'm not going to lie, you know I hate him.
I know you hate him. And as much as I want to, I don't hate you. I pity you.
Oh, so much worse. So much worse.
Because if it takes this level of betrayal of your kin to try to claw your way out of the mud, and what good has it done? The door to Fairy is still closed. And it's only the work of my people.
Okay, this is going on too long. Too long.
Gives you a snowflake's chance in hell of any real comeback. So you're gonna watch your fucking tone with me. And if one hair is hurt on my son's head, there will be nothing you or your lovely lady patron can do to stop me ripping you limb from fucking limb. And
Let's go then. Let's go. Let's go. Wouldn't that be interesting? Wouldn't that be a crazy episode 1? Matt Mercer attacks another PC. Bold. Does it happen? What do you think? She thinks it's going to happen. Look at that face. His eyebrows raised. Like, are you sure you know what you're doing? I think this player is going to be a problem. I don't intend to watch all these episodes, but I think she's going to be a problem.
start with that pretty little glove of yours. Do you understand me? And at this, I think you can feel it, heat coming off like a shimmer off of the back of her, and she is trying very hard not to wild shape right now.
Do it. Do it. Do it and see what happens. It wouldn't be the first fight at a funeral. Do it. But no, it's not going to happen.
A pleasure is always, Taisha.
You're both such.
Why are you in this now? Let them come to blows.
Suddenly aware that the temperature has dropped about 15 degrees in the last minute. It is night, and the clouds have vanished in the silver light over the rookery.
So what's happening now is that Brennan's using his directorial powers to change the scene, right? He gets to decide when new characters come in. And so he uses that as if this is a transition now, right? We're going to transition to a new scene.
casts everything in a strange translucence. I'm going to need perception checks from both Taisha and Julian in this moment.
Is there... Okay, this perception check thing. Is this... Let's just see what it's for. Because I suspect it's nothing but dice filler.
Guidance on him.
Bad things come out at night.
Oh, that's just a 6. Matt, stop touching my dice.
What do we got here?
It's the least I can do for that shit you just threw at me.
14.
That's gonna. Oh.
14?
Glorious 10. I am fully right now believing that this is your doing. I'm like, we'll only be here a short time.
No, this isn't me.
The magpies aren't cawing. Something ancient moves upon the face of this city. A figure is walking up the street. The lights are not on in the other houses. It walks alone, approaching this home. Ashley Johnson, you want to come out?
He had them roll perception because he's moving a character of another player into the scene to interrupt the scene. Why did you have them roll perception on that? What happens if they fail the perception? Does this person not get called out of the green room? And I will just take a moment here. You can't see it because I'm in the way. I'm gonna remove my camera for a moment. If you can, dear viewer, pay attention to the timestamp we are at. 4 hours, 7 minutes, 5 seconds.
I bet it's super chill.
Yeah.
Probably. Sup, bro?
Yeah!
You bring the night.
Oh, I brought the night, I brought the night, I brought the night.
She's on her phone. She has not sat at the adult table. She's been in the green room for 4 hours. This session ends in 20 minutes. Do you see the problem that I'm trying to highlight here? Do you see what I'm getting at? And Brennan, what was the point of the perception roll? What's the interesting failure or success here? At what point do you see her walk up? That's what's interesting about that? You better call a dice roll for it?
Hey. Hi.
Would you do me the favor of describing your character as she approaches the top of the hill?
Sure. You see an extremely tall...
Okay, so my point here is just an extremely tall woman. Such and such. Da, 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 da. I don't really want to go through this anymore. I think that was the main thing to bring to your attention is I wanted to look at this character versus character moment. But I feel like just when it had the potential to get interesting, it gets interrupted. I think this idea of having people wait in the wings for an entire session to be called in as a okay, here's the scene change trigger. I don't think you should do that. I think that's a terrible thing to do. If you have a group that is 8+ players and it's just too cumbersome to have them all sit around the table, I mean, how are we going to fit you all here? Make 2 groups. Make 2 groups. Again, there are characters that are at this house right now who aren't at the table. Why not? Why aren't they at the table? What if they had something that they wanted to do? Why aren't they getting a turn at that? I don't know how this is received. In terms of unsolicited advice for you, Brennan, try to avoid moving the player characters around. You decided where they were going to be. You tell them where they are. All of this. Don't do that, folks. Try to avoid that. This is Campaign 4, Episode 1. Yes, I watched the whole thing. I had a hard time with it. But I got through it. For those of you that just love Critical Role, nothing I'm going to say here is going to change your mind, nor is that my intent. I just want you to take a look at the game through a different perspective. Take a different lens. Take a look at it. See, okay, is this the kind of thing? Am I just going to enjoy this for the entertainment that it is, or is this an example of an actual game group as I could duplicate in my own setting with my buddies at my local game store? Playing in my basement with my friends. I would venture to you that you not only will you not duplicate this, you should not attempt to duplicate this. I hope this has been of some entertainment to you. I look forward to submissions for other games that you'd like me to take a look at. This one, of course, was one submitted. I hope that you have wonderful game sessions, and I do honestly, sincerely wish you all the best for your own games. Remember, if you really want to surprise somebody, be aggressive as a role player. And with that, I bid you all a very good evening or day or whenever you're watching this until I catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.